Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, a big show coming your way. As always, catch of the week. The cod are just going fantastically. Plenty of mailbag about boat ramps, would you believe? Anyway, that's the way it is,
Still
boys.
rolling.
Hotspots, there's some crackers this week, and we also have a very special guest in the studio tonight, Charley May from the Victorian Fisheries Authority. But before that, ads. Doesn't matter if it gets a bit cool, because summer is right behind it, pumping those hot days out.
What a run of weather we've had. The winds have been calm, the weather's been warm, a bit humid today, but it feels like summer. I think it finally feels like summer's arrived.
32 tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. And the best thing is, Trelly, the cod are on the bite, aren't
they? Oh, they're just going mad.
Yeah.
They're just, you got to get behind a tree to tie a lure on.
they? You got a what?
Get behind a tree to tie a lure on. Or a buddy grub.
Let's say to them, son.
They're attacking you.
The cod are.
Yeah, they're attacking you.
There you go. The other thing is, and we probably haven't got a lot of time to discuss it because I didn't plan it that well, but the yellow belly in Eildon, I reckon, have hit, if there was a prime week, we're probably in it right now. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I reckon it's just going to build from now on too, because of our global warming's not happening fast enough for us. It's really get water temperature up a couple more degrees. Away we go.
But it's you know. It's happening, yellow belly. I saw some phenomenal,
some what?
Great catches.
Phenomenal. a lot of reports out of Lake Eildon and yellow belly on the weekend.
So very good reports.
Cod. I spoke to someone during the week and they said to me, cod fishing's changed. You can now go out. And expect to catch a cod. And you couldn't do that 10 or even 5 years ago.
No, you're right, actually, because people are going out and they're catching their sort of quota of cod and they're going, I only caught 10 cod. And you go, well, mate, you're lucky to catch a cod.
If you've got 10 in a season.
Yeah, that's right, exactly, Yeah, they're becoming very complacent with the with what's going on and the conditions, and the cod fisheries at the moment is just outstanding.
Yeah,
really good.
Ads, we're seeing the same in saltwater. Just some great fishing around, and obviously snapper.
We start to see the variety. Yeah, we've already had snapper fishermen change over to whiting because the whiting bite's been too good to ignore. We just normally expect snapper to be it in a bit, and then we think about whiting later. But that's been great. Calamari around, and the
gummy
unicorn.
sharks,
and the kingies,
and the kings. Only a matter of time before we see some big ones. But anyway, folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
It's good to see the kids out fishing, boys, and let's kick it off with the kids, because Georgia and Sienna are twins. And they got out off cows and have a look at a lovely little gummy shark.
And
Thank you very much.
Gummy sharks, and they are probably the one species sneaking under the radar, to be perfectly honest. They have been absolutely sensational, like this one here. And girls, great effort.
Georgia's on the left, isn't she?
Oh, how would you know? They're identical twins. They're 10 years old, I think.
They were like really close, but I mean, normally you can sort of pick up when they had their hair the same. You
reckon that photo is not going to be brought up at their 21st or something? No, it's just absolutely beautiful to see the girls. So the other species that December is always the month for, boys, and it's underrated and we never talk about it, is the old Yankel blue spot flathead.
Yankel?
Yank.
Oh, Yank.
Yank.
Dave's on tonight.
Charlie, can you say who this is? Terry Chinook.
Oh, Terry Chinook,
Yep, a 70-cent. Look how fat it is.
That's big.
It's 3.6 kilos
that's
fat.
A great one, isn't it?
A beautiful flathead off Cleland Bite out of Phillip Island there.
2 kilos of fillets off that, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, It's something that's underrated.
That's right.
People I don't reckon, go out and target.
Because we still expect to catch... We still expect to catch those ones that are 15 centimetres long. The flatty fishing's changed a little bit. If we were talking about 70 centimetre flathead coming out of, Western Port 7-8 years ago, you'd be like, nah. But
if you went down to Lake Tyers or the Gippsland Lakes, you'd be rapt to get a 70-centimetre dusky.
Dusky, yeah, definitely.
And yet we've got 70-centimetre blue spots coming out of both bays at the moment.
Yep.
So, and it really is, or you'll see later on, a bit of a hot spot on them because it is great fishing this time of year. Jason Turner is a great charter fisherman out of Carrum, and he always gets his customers onto some big fish, and this week's been no different. Vanak. Have a look at Vanak's fish, 8 kilos.
That's a fish and a half.
That's a beautiful fish.
That's a great fish.
And that's not the only 8-kilo fish that Jason Turner brought on board Pro Red. I know.
They've all got red in them.
Yeah. Pro Red fishing charters. Jason Turner, get on it because many 8-kilo fish. Another special capture.
This one is awesome.
In Port Phillip Bay.
I love this. This will be my favourite for the week.
Have a look at this young man, Logan Vesey, a 76 centimetre mulloway from the Werribee Marina breakwall.
Yep. That is a special capture. Because,
on a plastic?
Yep, commonly known as the unicorn of our waters around here.
Is it?
Because they are so insanely hard to target. They don't seem to show many patterns or we all think we've got them worked out and we don't. So, Logan, I tip of the hat to your old mate because that is a really, really nice fish.
Straight in the barbecue, I reckon.
And rightly so. Good day.
Let's head up to the northern part of the state because, as we said, the cod fishing has been phenomenal.
Yeah, there we go. Nailed it.
Let's kick it off with Mick Lane. He was on the Goulburn River on the kayak. And
where was he, Dave? On the kayak.
Now, Mick's got a bit of YouTube footage. If you can ever look him up or whatever, Google him or something like that.
That's a great photo, by the way.
He's got the whole.
It is a good photo.
Boof, of the surface.
It's on top water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good on you, Mick.
So well done, Mick.
That's a cracking photo.
That's a good photo, isn't it? Doesn't matter how big they are. Murray cod are a beautiful thing.
They are.
And have a look at Breno. He got a 58 centimetre at Lake Mulwala.
Yep.
No.
Is it 58 or 88?
No, we've put the wrong photo up. It's all good.
That's Johnny.
I'm sure we've got Breno. But let's kick on to Mick Gines. He got an 88 centimetre Murray cod at Lake Marla as well.
I was going to say, that's the biggest 50 centimetre cod I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Good fish.
Now,
where was that? Mulwala as well.
Yeah. We might
there's Breno's.
There's Breno's. There you go.
These are a beautiful looking fish, aren't they?
If you can get your photos right, that last one was pretty good, but if you can get the photos right and just show that green.
Look at the
that's right. Yeah, that's a good photo.
They're beautiful.
You can see the sort of area that we fish up there. It's sort of sparse, but it's not if you're under the water having a look. That's where the sounders come into play.
I had a memory come up on Facebook today, Charlie. So it was 2 years ago today.
Yeah.
You took me to the Broken River and got me drunk, and then we caught 2 beautiful Murray cod. What?
I think you got yourself a little bit tipsy.
You poured the last one.
Well, I think your Porsche couldn't make it over the sandbar.
Let's not talk about that. Anyway, let's kick it off. The last one, Justin Reese. Have a look at this. A Murray cod in the Loddon River, Trelly. You sent this in.
I did.
And that's a cracker early morning fish, isn't it?
And I was talking to Justin because he was at the conference on the weekend and his wife is Karen Reese, one of the women recreational fishing. And I said, how did you get that photo? And he goes, I just set it up he clamped it to something and blah, 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 and he just sort of had to do the timer and stand where it was supposed to be and take the photo. I said, it's a ripper. He had another one which was probably better, but he cut a bit of the fish off. Yeah. But it's a cracker photo for doing something
on your own. Solo.
In the dark.
That come through at 6:18 because I do the ABC at 6:20 and I just missed it to put on a report, but it's a great photo. Yeah. Really good fun. Love it.
There you go.
Good work.
If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au.
Yeah, I want to go fishing.
And coming up next on Talking Fishing, Charley May is the Communications Project Officer with the Victorian Fisheries Authority. She joins us next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wear the line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing.
nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Fly fishing for me is escapism. Walking into the unknown, finding a beautiful stretch of water and not knowing if there's going to be fish there. It's about discovery, trying to work out the best way to catch those fish. For me, it's just a brilliant challenge and a way to switch off from all the distractions that we have.
Charley May, welcome to Talking Fishing.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
That's pretty inspiring, that little bit of video.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
Good to see someone with a bit of passion.
Exactly.
And the love of the outdoors and a reason to go outdoors. And I don't think you're any different from any of us. That
Except you can fly fish.
actually, that might be the difference. Yeah. Because you know that when you fly fish and there's a tree behind you.
Yeah, well, I've got a funny story about that. But there we go.
We've
Yeah.
never seen a tree.
It's a funny thing, but you love your fly fishing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into it and what you did. Like
Sure. So I got into it when I was a little kid. I was 9, and my dad would love fly fishing, and I loved the look of it.
Yeah.
So I just begged him to, teach me some tricks, and from there, a couple of overhead casts, and spent, a year trying my hardest to catch a trout. And when it finally,
at what age?
9. At 9, yeah.
And by the accent, what country?
The UK, England, yeah. So, born in Manchester and kind of grew up in the countryside around Manchester, and a couple of lakes and rivers nearby. So cut my teeth on them, and as I said, got my first trout, and all the pain was worth it, because in the early days I was catching myself in the back of the ear with a hook and all sorts of
So you
stuff.
put a couple of rings in here now, just to fix that up.
Just to finish the job off.
Made use of those holes.
Hang the flies off.
That's right. Yeah.
And did you have a period? I mean, I've got adult children now, and I took them fishing when they were very young, and they went through a period where they lost interest. Probably from maybe 16 to 22.
This sounds familiar. Yeah.
Did you lose interest?
Absolutely, and it kind of coincided with going to university and much more, interesting things like getting drunk and things like that.
Hormones.
Yeah. Hormones, all that kind of stuff. But I picked it up again when I was 25. I'm nearly 40 now, and
wow.
Yeah, and I kind of this passion grew again, and it came from another place, and so have been doing it ever since, really.
Yeah.
When you took it back up, was it like getting back on a bike?
Yes.
Or did you get yourself in the ear again?
I didn't actually, which was really good. Yeah, my casting has come on a long way since those early days, and these days I'm not snagging myself in the back of the ear. Occasionally in the tree, but I don't know a fly fisher who doesn't do that. And it usually happens when there's a really good fish and you just forget about it.
I've never done it because the tree saves me.
Yeah.
Now you're also a guide.
Yes,
You take people guiding, you run your own business, and apart from you work for the Victorian Fisheries Authority, and we shouldn't take that away, but you're a guide. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I started guiding as a part-time kind of gig in 2017, off the back of, I guess, change in my career fortune. And I was kind of doing a bit of soul searching, and I was on a trip up on the Mitter actually with a friend of mine, and I was mentioning my idea to him, and he was like, well, do you know what, you're good enough to do it, so give it a go. And I decided to look into it and do all my research, and then started up guiding, took out my first client, and I was like, wow, this is real, this is happening.
Was that nervous taking out your first
absolutely,
person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what happens if you don't catch a fish, or you catch your ear?
Catch my ear, or the client hooks up or something like that. No, it was great. She was a young girl in her 20s and had never done it before, and she actually had 3 strikes, which was amazing. She didn't manage to kind of hook anything up, but she just had a fantastic day, and we saw a snake and a couple of other kind of crazy birds, and she was just like, it's amazing spending time in the outdoors. She absolutely loved it.
I find that the fly fishing is apart from every other fishing for the romance of it.
Yeah.
It's just got a certain romance to it. So it's the walk, it's the journey, it's the putting the gear on, it's the treading up the stream and seeing what you see and all that type of thing. It's just got nothing else like any other
Almost
fishing.
seems like more of a hunt than, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stalking, a lot of, I guess, paying attention to everything else but the actual casting of it. I mean, I haven't fly fished, and the other time I tried it, I was connected to the tree behind me more than I was in front. Probably need a lesson.
So
actually,
we'll get you roll casting. You can avoid that.
But with the spin gear, you can kind of enjoy the romance of the area, but it doesn't seem the same.
It's a bit blind fishing, I find.
Yeah, it doesn't see the same. You don't have to just throw the lure in and wind it back. Whereas this,
there's so much.
Nothing can be wrong. You've got to present
you
that
have to
fly.
imitate nature.
That's right. You have to present that lure.
I found myself, running down the bank trying to catch this nymph, to match him up with something. I was like, run down the bank, it's like, oh yeah, I got him. What's he look like? I got my box open. Oh, that's really close. And
by that stage, all the fish are long gone.
Yeah. Did you take your bug catcher?
I took my bug catcher. I did.
So Charlie, you guide now?
Yes, guide now. So
do you have to be like an accredited guide?
You have to have insurance that covers you for the activities you're doing with clients. You don't have to be accredited. I'm actually choosing to do so. So I'm studying to be a certified casting instructor through Fly Fishers International.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite the undertaking. I've given myself a year to kind of get to a reasonable level that I'll be able to take the test. And fingers crossed, I'm taking it in July. If I do, next July in the UK. Back in a place called Northumberland, which was actually where I went to university. So
I've got that on the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I know where it is. It's the purple one, man. The corner from Park Lane.
That's the one. Yeah. So if I pass, I'm going to be the 7th woman in Australia to become a certified casting instructor.
So what does that open you up to? The actual certification of it. How does that change from, I guess, what you're doing now? Is it
chargeable?
You know what I mean? Part of the, how does that change what you do?
Look, it's true. You going through that process of certification and studying under what's called a master casting instructor, who is someone who really is at the very top of the casting game, learning what I'm learning at the moment. And I've been doing it for 25 years, and I'm learning new stuff. And for me, that's a huge value to my clients because I'm passing those skills on to them and becoming a much better casting instructor and fishing guide. So that's kind of why I want to do it. You don't have to do it to be a guide, but I think for me, it's a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, that's unreal.
What does the test involve?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that hit a target over there 20 times or something?
Yeah, well, there is an accuracy test, but there's 17 kind of skill and accuracy tests to complete, and then there's 5 teaching tasks. And it sounds like, it doesn't sound very stressful, but they take no prisoners. Like, you really, really have to nail it on the day and get everything right. And then there's also an exam as well that's multiple choice questions. So yeah, it's not
it's
kind of a light-hearted thing. It's actually quite full on. Yeah.
Charlie, we all have our own little fishing stories and probably our most favourite times. Where's your favourite place and your favourite trip?
It's really hard, and this is the hardest question I've been thinking about. But Argentina was amazing. However, there's this place in the high country which is near Angler's Rest, and I fished the Bandara River. And for me, that is my favourite place because
it's up near Omeo.
Yeah, it's up near Omeo. So I always stay every January at this place called Packers Horse Riding. And this place is like something out of the old days. It's just run down kind of cattlemen's sheds right on the river. And I've just had the best time with so many awesome people up there. Caught some amazing fish. Caught one of my best, like a 4-pound brown out of there. So it holds a very dear place in my heart. So I'd say the Bandara near Omeo.
It's funny you say that. So you say you got there in January, which is pretty much the hottest month.
It's on the scale.
And everyone that thinks they know anything about trout says
winter.
That trout is a winter fish, cold water fish, and yet fly fishing, I guess, is more about the bugs and all that, which is a summer thing. So is January a good month to be up there, is it?
It can be. When the hoppers are out, I usually fish really early in the morning when it's still cool, because it does still heat up in there. Even though it's, the alpine kind of region, it still gets hot. So fish first thing in the morning, or literally as the sun is just going down, and that's when you get great kind of rises on the Bandara and on the Mitta. But I leave that hot middle section of the day, leave the fish alone.
Do the fish go down low in the ponds and like just get out of the heat?
Basically, like we would, they're looking for a cool refuge and a beer to drink. I mean, they're not drinking beer, but you know what I mean? They're heading under just to chill out, basically.
But then come up to feeds early morning. And it's funny, we had a period during this week, Charley, where we had a few different funny reports, i.e. The brown trout in our fish tank at work died.
Yep.
My neighbour across the road has hydroponics, and all his fish died on the same day.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, something hit the temperature. Oh, sorry, this is last week, those hot days, and something hit a temperature where, you know, people that have got trout in tanks, whether it's at Cranbourne, whether it's out at Ringwood, or wherever it is, trout died last week. Because of the heat, you know. So, and I've always wondered about those streams, you know.
Then I don't think trout are immune to it, and I think definitely the scientific research that shows when when the rivers heat up to a certain level, they really struggle in it, and it becomes more stressful for them. And it sounds awful and very doomsday, but with climate change, because it is real, those kind of those trout rivers that we know at the moment, unfortunately, probably going to contract. Which is why I need to start fly fishing for cod, I think.
But part of your whole thing would be educating yourself on the anatomy of a stream, as far as the critters that crawl along the bottom, form the egg sacs, you know, float to the top and then break open and then they die. There's like one fly, there's like 6 cycles, isn't there? Yeah, it's amazing.
Got a couple of photos of some of the fish you've caught too. You might want to talk us through those. But you know, and there's obviously you're out there guiding. What river's that?
So that is the Dec18, and
we love the Dec18.
It was
Charley and I fished it the other week.
Further up that one, I think.
So that was a client that I took out, and she was new to fly fishing, and she managed to get a really lovely rainbow under a nymph and indicator kind of rig up. So she was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's a good fish.
This is a special memory. Upper King River. A couple of years ago, we had a really tough day of fishing, and then at the end of the day, the guide who was actually taking me out, Scott McPherson, legend, saw this movement in the water, and he was like, "Just throw the line out there." And poof,
that's awesome.
Another special one up from that special place I mentioned. I'm not going to tell you where I caught that, but that was a good memory.
That's an immaculate looking brown.
Beautiful, I reckon that's pushing just £5 that way.
Victoria's got some good trout fisheries.
It's got some great trout fisheries,
A lot of them untouched, a lot of them hard to get to. But we actually have some really good trout fisheries, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Good to chat about all that. I've got a bit of business to talk about. But product of the week next, and we're going to discuss the Women in Recreational Fishing Network straight after this on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Spotters, Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
We are rolling tonight, let me tell you. We're going to get straight into product of the week because we've got a lot to get to with Charley, but we are celebrating something quite special tonight because we are celebrating 20 years of Spotters sunglasses, which is a huge achievement.
It is.
Now, we're celebrating with 3 new models. There they are on your screen. So Fusion, Jade and Chill. These are that new and that hot off the press. We only have 1 set of them here because the other 2 are still on their way.
And you forgot to name one.
So yeah, that's right. Before we get to any of the details, now boys, I decided to give you a crack at product of the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you went off site.
We did it on the river.
Smashed out a video.
Oh yeah, we did.
You go all right?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Kev, roll the video because the 2 boys were let off the chain to have a look at a few Spotters sunglasses.
Well, here we are on the mighty Dec18 River with Stephen, Victor, Trelfel and Trelly. You were just saying you need spotters because it was a big night in Mansfield at the pub last night, but you need spotters for another reason, don't you?
Exactly. While we're up here fishing this lovely Dec18 River, the spotters just help you so much. The view you get through the water, it stops all that glare off the water, they're just fantastic.
I wear the Blaze Extreme because we got here at 5:30 this morning, would you believe, and it was quite dull. I need these when it's in dull conditions. Yours are over 10 years old, Charley.
That's right. They don't actually make these anymore, but I do have new ones at home. But I pulled these out of the console when I got here, and they are one of my old favourites. They are over 10 years old, but they're still in use and I still love them.
Now, I'm not sure if this experiment's going to work, but I'm just going to put the gold mirror in front of the lens. Have a look at that and just have a look at how beautiful that is on a bright, sunny day. Now I'm going to swap over from the gold mirror. I'm going to use the blue mirror. It's just a little bit lighter. Like I said, it comes from a grey base. Just a little bit lighter than that previous one, the gold mirror. But when it does get cloudy late in the day, it's always good to swap over to the extreme lens, the yellow. It's a fantastic lens. It'll show up a little bit light today, but in dull conditions, it's just absolutely sensational. You've got to have a spare pair of spotters in your pocket for when the conditions change to give you that edge on catching beautiful brown trout in the Dec18. I go to the Blaze Ice when it gets sunny because it's just that little bit darker and better for my eyes when you can see through the water. But one of the innovations at Spotters, and I know, you know, the actual general manager, I think he is, of Australasia of Spotters, Jason Portelli, and the owners have just been over to Asia, having a look at one of the biggest optical gatherings of the world, you know, looking at different lenses, different frames, and they're looking at the stuff. And you know what? One of the things they have done is they've gone to some pretty cool looking, well, I think I'm cool looking. These are the Grayson in Nexus lenses, and they're just a cool looking, like stylish type glass. So unlike, Dave look good. Unlike, you know, the traditional fishing glasses, if you want to look cool and go fishing, get a pair of Graysons because they're just absolutely fantastic. And there's a couple of new ones coming out just in time for Christmas. So keep an eye out. All the mums, all the girlfriends, get your husbands, your boyfriends, or your girlfriends a pair of Spotters for Christmas.
Huge range, and we have them all in stock.
These are pretty cool, aren't they?
Well, Dave, let me say that the glass you've got on extremely cool, but there was nothing cool about those neoprene waders you're wearing. Let me give you
they were hot. Can I just clarify?
Very hot.
Because we'll talk about the new styles that are out, but can I just clarify? Number one, I got a bit wrong there. Jason Portelli, I think he's just the driver for the owner.
Chauffeur.
And secondly, you know, during the Spotters ad, you know that. Good morning, Spotters. Stephanie speaking. Stephanie's the general manager of Spotters. So just thought we'd clear that positions because Jason's. I might have just overdone Jason a little bit there. So anyway, Charlie, that was after a big night in Mansfield.
It was. We needed glasses actually.
You know what though? It's probably a very fitting show tonight to be talking about Spotters because I would say trout fishing in an extremely shallow, ultra clear stream with a lot of overhanging shadow, your glasses are crucial.
They are.
And Spotters just do a brilliant job of giving you a selection of lenses that really do give you an advantage because they are. It's that simple.
I'll tell you a really good thing to do with Spotters. If you go into a store and you want to check out a pair of Spotters, is put them on, look at your hands because they're optically correct, and then take them outside and look down the street. And they're both optically correct. It's just fantastic.
Okay, interesting.
I'm optically correct. Like if you look at your hands, they're clear at that length of looking, and then you go outside of the store, like your store, my store, and look down the street. They're clear all the way down the street too. So optically, they're just outstanding.
Yes.
So with the three new pairs of glasses that we showed there, there's basically three different designs. There's one aimed, I guess, at a male head, one for a female, and then there's another pair there that was kind of a unisex.
Both heads.
Yeah, that's right. So they're on their way. That is how new
they're leaving Spotters tomorrow, we're told.
That's right. So we'll have them
to all the outlets.
So we'll have them in stores by the end of the week, if not sooner.
Yeah.
We suggest you have a look.
That's pretty cool. That pair you got there.
Yeah. So this is chill. They're very similar to the Graysons that you've got there. Dave. They've just changed the angle of the eyes a little bit, so just another different style.
That's cool.
Do I look as cool as Dave?
You look cool. Yeah. Except for that green sticker on.
Sold. It's trendy. It's like a hat, you know, when you leave the sticker on a hat.
That's right.
Right. So that's Spotters Chill. Extremely comfortable because the arms are actually got a matte finish.
Yep.
So very comfortable on the side of your head, not giving you headaches and bits and pieces. But we've been through lenses before. They are so specific and so crucial to what you do as fisho. So drop into your closest Spotters outlet. We sell them at our stores. Come and have a chat because there's lots to learn and they can really make a difference to your fishing.
They're great.
There you go. All right, Charlie.
Hi.
The Women in Recreational Fishing Network has been probably one of the success stories of the past 12 months at least. And I presume it's a growing network.
Yeah.
I see even, Charley, at some of your events, you've had Women in Recreational Fishing Network stands at that. It's a growing thing, and how's that all travelling?
It's amazing. So it was set up only in March this year. So we launched it on International Women's Day, which was the 8th of March.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that day.
Yep.
And we're nearly...
It's your birthday.
It is.
Yeah.
Launched on your... I knew that.
There we go.
Because you used to be a clan at Moomba, and it's the same, coincides.
Yep.
Anyway,
yeah, so we've got 1,000 kind of followers on Facebook, which is great. Yep. In June, we appointed Chloe Malloy as the official ambassador for the Women in Recreational Fishing Network, which was just brilliant. We ran a scholarship program that took 10 exceptional female leaders up to Queensland to talk to some of the fishing industry's leaders about some of the challenges still facing women. And that was just so productive because the ideas and discussion that came out of that, I mean, you remember, you were kind of up there, has really informed where we think we'd like women in recreational fishing to go. So we're currently writing a 4-year strategy at the moment, which is going to be, which is going to be super exciting. So we're hoping to take the network not just, from online to more kind of real world events where people can actually get involved, and we're teaching more women more skills.
Yeah. Now, Charley, you've actually employed someone from the Women in Recreational Fishing.
Yeah, Hannah Knox, who works with us now at our Lebanon store.
Oh, awesome. Hannah's awesome. I love
is
her.
great.
Yeah.
She is really, really good. Yeah. And we work very close with Karen Reese, whose partner was on the pictures there before. So, and she is great. And Sky Kern is just fantastic too. So they're the ones I'm sort of closest to.
Yeah. And Karen spoke at the conference, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very inspirational. A lot of people just got to, great applause from the crowd and things. They don't realise, the women who don't realise that if they drop out of fishing, it's not so much about them. They're inspiring all the kids and all the little girls that are fishing too. So so it's fantastic.
No, so it's really amazing. Since we did that scholarship program, the confidence that it's given these leaders to go out and
spread the word.
Spread the word. And they've been doing radio shows. They've been appearing on kind of like
we had Chloe and Sky on the show.
That's right. On TV, on magazines, and that visibility, as you say, is really important for young girls and anyone else kind of who wants to get into fishing, really.
So any females watching tonight, how do they get involved?
Okay, so first of all, go to the Facebook page, so Women in Recreational Fishing. It's a moderated Facebook account, so if you
virtually have to ask to join.
You're asked to join. We'll sign you up, and there you get access to up to 1,000 other women who are all mad about fishing and sharing kind of advice and tips. And then just keep an eye on the Facebook page, because we run at the VFA loads of events throughout the year, and as Charley says, we're now having a Women in Recreational Fishing stand at most of these events, so and that's a really good opportunity for people to come and find out more, and learn from other women. I
was up at the back of the stand at the COD conference, and when Karen was talking, I could see a few mothers down there, got their kids next to them, and you could see the little girls there jabbing their mum like this, like like we can take you fishing. Like, you can see it in the crowd. It was just great.
All right, let's keep moving up. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag, and we discuss what it's like for Charley to work at the Victorian Fisheries Authority. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
I do so much research before Mailbag.
And then, so you just read it for the first time?
I'll read them during the ad break. I'm not doing that one. Not doing that one.
Down it goes.
Got no answer to this one. But anyway, let's give it a go. This one is from John, and John writes, Kramer. Watching the show tonight, 4th of the 12th, which was last week, a viewer questioned how councils react to the loss of revenue, possibly substituting launch fees with parking fees. This brought to mind, who is going to monitor the parking? I live a couple of k's from the Rye ramp, and over the years have consistently observed people, or he actually called them something else, people without a boat trailer attached parking in the car and trailer only lanes so they can go and sit on the beach and watch the hoons on jet skis. Even at the moment, right now, this is on the 4th, Right now, there's a caravan parked in a lane near the ramp entrance. Their four-wheel drive is parked in the next lane. They've been there for a couple of weeks. The ramp's open. Why haven't they been moved on? The West Rye caravan park is next to the ramp. Are they homeless? Well, Charlie, I think you should go knock on their door.
Possibly.
Another display of Mornington Peninsula Shire Council at its incompetent best. I didn't call them that. That's because I'll get bad mail from them now. So whom is going to patrol the parking area so these people don't park in the trailer-only lanes? By the way, I am all for free launching. Serve the incompetent... whatever. The incompetent drop kicks at council, right.
Isn't there a politician out of a job down there some way?
He's out of a job in a big way, mate.
He could do it.
Can I just say, watch this space, because a rumour went round today. A rumour went round today. I'm not allowed to say this.
I like your rumour.
I'm going to get in trouble. A rumour went round today that a sign writer has been asked to write a sign and have it ready for Friday.
Yep.
Because maybe just the first boat ramp might be made free this Friday.
Really? Could be a sign from God.
They got the sleeves rolled up. They're getting on with the job.
Oh.
Anyway, that's what's happening. Thanks, John. Going to fix Rye one day. Next one. Phil writes, "Hi, Dave and team. Love your show. Look forward to it every Tuesday evening. Why do I need a licence for a VHF radio if it's a life-saving device? Can you please explain this? As I was going to buy one for my boat, but if I get pulled up by the water police, I'll get a fine without a marine VHF radio licence."
It's a great question.
Over to you, Charlie.
That's a great question.
You need to do it.
I didn't know you needed one.
We need a licence to operate it.
Yeah. It's a great question.
From my understanding,
you just listen to it.
Yeah, you don't need a licence to have it on the boat, but if you're going to operate it, you have to have a licence.
But you can't shoot a snake unless it's coming right for you, and then you're allowed to shoot it, right? So it's legal. So if you're allowed to call for a life-saving situation, I'm sure they're going to waiver the fine for using a radio.
Well,
That's a great question. We need to get Marty back.
If Marty's watching,
I
haven't got Marty's email or phone number.
Hashtag Marty.
At least we remembered his name this week. Remember last time we had him, we called him old mate after a week. Marty, please, if you can give us the answer to that, that'd be good. Angelo writes, "Target 1 million, what a joke."
Okay.
Oh, well, it's been a little bit all right, I can tell you. We need to double the ramps. Oh, yes, that's
getting better.
We need to double the ramps. We cannot get a park at the ramps as it is. You need to seriously look at this and sort something out. Poor planning causes chaos. 1 hour to launch is not acceptable. Please help out the locals with this issue. Yours faithfully, Angelo. Angelo would be from Altona, wouldn't he?
Round that way.
Yeah. Well, that's got to be the worst one. I think people have just got to be patient, and boat ramps will not be fixed overnight. That's the biggest thing. They won't be fixed overnight, but they will be fixed.
Because they've been neglected for a long time.
Yeah, and I just think people have got to be patient. But however, I will say this: Jarla Pulford is on the show next week, the last live show for the year, because the following week's Christmas Day, so we won't be live. But Jarla Pulford, the new Minister for Fishing and Boating, will be on the show, and we're going to discuss timelines.
Yep.
So the biggest question on everyone's lips is when. So we've got Jarla here next week to talk about it, and it'll be a big show. So there you go. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Charlie, what's it like to work at the Victorian Fisheries Authority?
In a nutshell, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. It's an organisation full of people who are dynamic and genuinely care about what they do. For me, working in communications, it's super interesting because I get to find out and inform our audience about all the things that are happening in the different kind of divisions of the authority. So whether it be licensing or stocking or research, all these things that we work on, we have to keep the fishing community informed on that, and that makes my job really fun to do. So, you know, one day I can be writing a social media plan, and the next I can be out with the fisheries officers on a patrol, kind of, you know, documenting their interactions with anglers on Insta stories. So it's really, really fun.
That's good work. Now, tying flies, or I'll give you tongue-tied flying ties. I used to do a bit of that. I'd find myself clipping the hair off dead critters on the side of the road and taking Christmas decorations out of shop windows just to tie a beetle back or something. How did you go? Have you done a bit of that, or you?
I've done a little bit of it, not a lot.
The bit of clippings off the road?
No, not the roadkill. No, not the roadkill. Usually they usually pong a bit, so I'll leave that. Yeah, I've done a bit of it, but the truth is, it takes a lot of time. You know, it takes a lot of time. And my other great passion is painting, and with, you know, working full time and guiding, I've only kind of really got room, for one other kind of hobby.
Don't ask a question.
I've tied a bit. I'd like to do it if I get more time, but I get all my kind of flies tied for me by.
That's an art form itself. It's amazing. Flies. That's another different ball game. Who do you get them
tied by?
A guy called Scott McPherson up in Estelle. He does a really nice job of flies.
Where's Estelle?
Estelle, it's
top of the Mitter.
Top of the Mitter.
It's on the Mitter. Blind Dartmouth.
So it's on the border.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Really nice.
Lovely place. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, because I find the deer hair, you know, floats.
Yeah, the elk hair.
It's hollow hair and, you know, wombat hair and stuff. So when you find a dead critter on the side of the road, you can pick up and you trip a bit off. And
do you, like when you're driving along, do you go, hey, Mary, stop! That one floats.
Pull up.
That one floats, so I'm going to cut a bit off. Yeah, do you get a nail scissors out?
You've been there, have you? But it is, because then you get the tinsel, because you need that sort of thing on the back
flashy,
of the beetle. Yeah, that's right. That gives you that green, red gloss and little hairs and stuff. It's just great.
Yeah. Do you only fish with hand-tied flies?
No, look, you know, I will kind of fish with commercial ones as well. Because the hand-tied ones are more pricey. Because there's a lot more work that goes into them. But like mainly I'll buy my flies from someone. But, you know, you have to stock up occasionally, especially with clients, because, you know, they have a great capacity to lose them in trees. So you've got to keep things economical as well.
Lots of books out. Lefty Cray had a great one called Anatomy of a Stream. It's still one of the signature books as far as fly tying, and it's great. Like the anatomy of a stream is just like everything that lives in the stream, you're trying to copy it. So it's a good one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Coming up next, Hotspots, we're going to keep flying, and we're going to talk about Charley's artwork, her painting, Charley, after this on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries.
And we're joined by Charley May from the Victorian Fisheries Authority tonight, and we're going to talk about your artwork very shortly, Charley. But firstly, the all-important hotspots.
Get the pen and paper out. Write these down, Charley.
It may be for a lot of people, you know, the following week is all about Christmas getting ready and stuff like that. So it might be the last time for a lot of people to get out in the water this weekend, and it's looking pretty good. I think we've got a 32 tomorrow, a bit of a cold change, and then it settles for the weekend. Nice. So let's kick it off. Out in the middle of Port Phillip Bay, there's a beautiful little channel I love called the Pinnis Channel. And I would say the month of December, early January, is a top time of year to go out and drift for yank flathead.
Okay. Bit like that 70 centimetre arrangement we saw in Catching.
Don't expect anything under about 50.
Nice.
And up to 75. And they're beautiful eating. They're a good fish. Drift with either a little squid strip on a long shank hook, that's all you need.
Yep.
Or I love that drop bear colour in any squidgy pattern.
Beaten squid?
Huh?
Beaten squid, like you hammer it out, do you?
No, just a, like, you know, you can put an actual decent length, like a 3 or 4. Yeah,
we're not talking
it almost
pieces,
looks like a worm on a long shank, but it's just a squid strip with a bit of scent through it with the squid. So, so that's a cracker. And if you want a snapper this weekend, head down towards Sandringham.
Sandringham.
Just that top end a little bit. Sandringham's been fishing quite well, about 15 metres. Over in Western Port, the King George whiting. Certainly, we're hearing. Yeah, we're hearing a lot about them, and the Tooradin Channel would have to be one of the top spots at the moment for King George whiting.
Yeah, a lot of school fish in there, so you can probably expect, I guess, quantity over quality, if that makes sense. But when you get a nice healthy bag of 35 to sort of 38 centimetre fish, you can still get a good feed.
Last night at our staff Christmas party, Greg Duncan, Dave Kennedy, those boys have all been fishing up that top end and getting their bags. So.
What happened with the possum?
I had to go home early. Possum. Oh, don't talk about it. I just had this water dripping on my head.
Oh, wasn't water.
Wasn't water. Where's the big whiting?
Down in Cat Bay.
Yep.
It's definitely a big fish spot for whiting, so it can be a little bit hit and miss, but if you find them, they're going to be 40 plus, nudging 45, and it wouldn't surprise me at some point if we see the magic 50 come from around there.
Yeah, there you go. Let's head inland. And we mentioned earlier on Lake Eildon, golden perch are on fire, the yellow belly, aren't they?
Yeah, use your sounders to locate the golden, the perch up there, because they'll be sitting on trees, or they'll be sitting above a tree, like out in a bit of open. So very much use your sounders to find them, and you can target them with vibes or
I saw a fair bit of social media. Tiff Newton from the Women in Rec Fishing Network, 30 on the weekend.
Nice.
And all good fish, And lucky last, if you want to get yourself a trout. I know it's warm weather, but the beautiful Tangel.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's still flowing from up in the mountains, so it's still quite cool water. Beautiful place to fish.
Yeah, it is.
Get onto the Tangel. There you go. Charlie, you do a bit of painting.
I do, yeah. When I find time.
Oil on canvas.
Oil on canvas, oil on board, yeah.
Let's have a look at a couple of paintings that you've done. Where's that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's a Mitta near Eskdale, and that was in autumn when I took a trip there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So,
do you actually sit on the side of the river and paint that? Or do you take a photo?
I take a photo and reference a photo. With a little creative license as well.
Yeah. That one?
Welcome swallows. I love them. They always remind me of home. So in the UK, basically, we get them. They come over from South Africa, and they remind me of summer and home. So I love them.
Yeah, they featured on Monty Python, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did you just do this last night?
I did.
Is that a red tag?
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Boom.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
Red tag.
You did that last night.
I did. That's a speed painting record, as my art teacher said.
Yeah.
So basically, I had to get this thing complete for the end of year show, which is this Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was just furious at the easel last night, trying to get this thing finished off.
Okay. So, what's the size of that painting?
Oh, it's actually not that big. I can't remember the dimensions. It's a small square basically. Yeah.
6 inches by 6 inches.
Yeah, actually maybe 8. Yeah.
UK measurements.
And how long did that take you?
2.5 hours. Yeah.
And if someone wanted to buy that this weekend, where do they go?
They go to it's Fitzroy Painting end of year show, and that's I think 244 on Brunswick Street. It's Studio 19. So
I thought you might have been a bit more accurate with where to go, but anyway, that's pretty good.
Hashtag Mayfly.
Red tag.
But there's actually a whole bunch of students who put artwork up there. So the theme this year was basically to work in a primary colour. So for me, the red tag with its little red bum was perfect opportunity to do that. So they're all selling it $100 each, and there's some good stuff up there, so it's worth checking out.
How long have you been painting?
8 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I used to paint and draw a lot when I was a little kid. Fell out of love with it because I had a few art teachers who weren't that great, and then took it up 8 years ago, and I just love it. Do it kind of most Monday nights.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Monday night
painting night. Yeah.
Oil or what was it?
Yeah, it's oil.
Yeah.
So I used to paint with acrylics when I was starting out, but I just love that oils, they take a bit longer to dry, and you can move the paint around a bit easier.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Are they the only 3 paintings you've done? I know the answer's not going to be no in 8 years, but what else? Like, where did you start? Like, what made you want to paint? And have you always done the nature type?
I love nature. I mean, I studied biology at university, and I've always loved the natural world. I also love doing landscapes. But started out doing kind of deer and a whole bunch of other animals and stuff, and have just got better and better as I've learnt new techniques and worked with Adrian. But yeah, I've showed at a couple of exhibitions and sold pieces. So the Mitter one is actually in hot demand at the moment, so I actually might do an exclusive print run for that. Yeah. So,
that's any body painting? Like Adam needs a bit of adding up.
Yeah, I was going to say he likes a bit of art.
No room left.
Not quite oil on canvas.
Not quite, no. Ink on skin.
Doesn't wash off.
It's fascinating. I caught up with an artist in Margaret River when I was over there in September, and something I learned about painting is we were going to buy a painting, except the bank wouldn't loan me the money, and there were some shadows on this painting, and we said, what is that? And she goes, well, that's the two other paintings underneath. And artists quite often do that, is that they paint something on canvas and they go, oh, I don't like that. And they paint a totally new painting on top of that one, and then they might paint a third one on top of that.
Yeah, so it's like the ghost image is coming out. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's amazing.
You've done that, Charlie?
I haven't, no. Yeah, but I've seen other people who have,
so
and it's kind of cool.
Sick of the red tag, you'll do a Royal Wolf.
Yeah, just exactly.
Right over the top.
Big bugger over the top.
That's it. We've run out of time. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, a big show with the new Minister for Fishing and Boating, Jarla Pulford. She's in the studio answering the big question on everybody's lips. When will boat ramps be free? We also start a new Jarla's list, the things that have been promised over the next 4 years. A big show coming your way, but until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
And you stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time.